So, is the secret to a great relationship to avoid any debate? Because a source told People magazine that actress Shailene Woodley and her football star fiancé Aaron Rodgers leave all politics at the door. So instead of talking things out, they just agree to disagree. So is this approach debatable? Penny, we're going to start with you because you're an actual mediator. This is like perfect for you.
Yeah. So I don't like the word avoid. When we avoid conflict, when we avoid difficult conversations, nothing good comes from that. Things get swept under the carpet, they fester there, or we have resentment. And I don't know if you know, but we can't build a relationship on resentment. So I don't like the word avoid. Agreeing to disagree might be what you both get to in a resolution. I agree that I like peas and you agree that you don't like peas, so we'll have peas and I'll eat them and you won't. That's agree to disagree. A wedding like this, I would hope that they're going to really talk about the things that are important to them. And you know what? If it's not important, then it doesn't necessarily need a conversation, because it won't be festering under the carpet or be resentful in the relationship. So I really encourage people to embrace those moments where you can move through conflict, because the other side of conflict is bliss.
Oh, but I have to say, I love your advice, but like, I debate rather with my partner, and we love healthy debate. Like, we might disagree on what Stanley Kubrick's greatest film is, but we agree on big things. We agree on big things like vaccines are good for humanity and that the Holocaust actually happened. I don't think I could be with someone with that level of conflict, mostly because I find it very unattractive. Like, stupidity is really unattractive. It would be such a turnoff. Like, if it was Brad Pitt, I'd be fine with the breadcrumbs in the bed. But if he was like, the earth is flat, I'd be like, bye, Brad.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, Jess, I love you so
Some
much.
people though seem to have like a simple, like they like simple, right? Like, sorry, Aisha, you go.
No, I was just gonna say, I'm like, I think that I totally agree with you, Jess. And I think, Penny, what you're saying totally makes sense. If you're the kind of person who can be superficial and be happy, which I am not. Like, I'm the kind of person where I'm like, we have to argue this out until we I don't care if this takes all night. Yes, I will feed our kids while we are still debating. Like, I'm just like, we will keep this going until we figure this out. And that's how I am personally. I am this whole like agree to disagree. I'm like, but I mean, obviously you must not understand me fully if you're not agreeing with me. Like, I have to get to the bottom of things before I can move on. And I think that that's made even more so with kids, because there are certain things like you're talking about. If it's a small little thing, it's not a big deal. But when it comes to fundamental things, vaccines or your, view on religion or whatever it is, those are really important things. And being a biracial woman who's married to a white man, and now we have kids who are mixed, like all of those things come into play about how we're going to parent them. And I think that when it comes to that stuff, you do need to have a lot of space where you're on a united front, even if you have some disagreements on the outside. But there has to be sort of this really good foundation and base from which you can parent. Otherwise, it's disastrous.
Yeah.
I love that.
I have Joanne on Facebook said a few years ago, we were actually advised by a counselor not to discuss this one issue at home. I guess she observed that we became irrational people when it came to this issue. She was right, but guess what? That issue is always there, creeping around, a little hostility cloud in our home. Joanne, I really want to know what this issue is. What it sounds like is that your counselor is saying, don't discuss it at home because it ends up being like a firestorm, but you should bring it to therapy. And so I think that is the difference. You're going to still work it out there. I'm with all of you, though. I imagine a scenario like everyone go back to the time when Trump was elected into office. Remember, we all went to bed that night, or I maybe went to bed just assuming it would be a Hillary win, woke up and it was a Trump win. I was like, oh my God. Imagine if you went down to talk to your partner and they were kind of gloating. Like, to me, this is over. Like, it's over before it starts. You need to at least the fundamentals be on the same page about, or I don't know. I don't know how that is ever going to happen. Imagine, and like, that would be horrible.
Yeah. I like that. I like what you said, Aisha. Baseline. There's got to be a baseline.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So we're going to move to this.
And I liked hearing the words healthy debates. I liked hearing that word healthy debates, because debates can be very healthy, but we weren't taught how to have healthy debates.
Oh, I
True,
love that.
true.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
do it here on this show all the time, I
Yes.
think, hopefully setting an example.